how can Black athletes get a more prominent voice in the wrestling world? What can they do to be better heard?
Yeah, thanks, Taylor. I think exactly what we're doing now, speaking our truth, being out front, telling our stories. It's amazing when Jordan talked about, getting the first shoe, and of course, we've been on the right there on the borderline to getting one. I probably was real close to getting a shoe. Had a great relationship with ASICS, and so it just it was the timing of it, and it just quite didn't happen. But man, I fought so hard for you to get a shoe. I fought hard for Kerry to get a shoe. Remember that, Kerry? Remember that? Yeah, and you were right there too. But they were like, well, you got to win. You got to be Olympic champ. You got to be world champ. So I was fighting for Kerry. I was fighting for KJ. But I fought really, really hard for Jordan to get a shoe. And I had a great relationship with Bill Farrell and Nick Gallo. And so I'm like, man, if he wins, he needs to have a shoe. Right? And so I think we got to speak for each other. I think leadership matters. Leaders lead. I mean, I love the guys that are on the circuit right now. And I've been watching these guys for a long time. I remember watching Mark back in the Tulsa Nationals when he was freaking 8 years old, man. The dude running around, couldn't even get in the stands, and just freaking, horsing people. I'm like, that kid's gonna be good. Like somebody brought me over here, but you gotta watch this kid. You gotta watch this kid, right? And so I've been a fan ever since, right? And so it's been amazing for me, to have a voice and talk. I remember talking to David Taylor's dad and how to manage a stud kid, and just managing a great kid's career. And so I've been around a long time. And you guys it's different though. It's a different world now, man. I didn't have this social media. I didn't have all that. We had to be there to actually see a match, or we had to talk to people up front, in person. You guys have got an incredible opportunity these days. I mean, everything is out there for you to see. I mean, you can watch every match, every wrestler, with media. I mean, with YouTube. I mean, everything is out there, right there for you. And so I just think, leaders have got to lead, right? And I'm all about leadership. I think USA Wrestling are the leaders, and they got to be better leaders. But we've got to push them. We got to push them. We got to push them to be better leaders. And so I'm all about that. But I think we've got to continue to be men of honor. You guys are great family men. I think it's the way that you compete on and off the mat, how you present yourself. I think it's important. But I think we got to tell our truth. We got to tell the truth. And I think when we see something that's unjust, when we see something like Floyd, in this situation, I think you got to speak out. You got to speak up and not be afraid. Be unapologetic about your truth. That's the way that we make change. Like I heard people say, if you want to change, you got to be the change. And so, but I love the fact that these guys they're stepping out and they're not afraid to speak. They're speaking up, and but you got to be champions on and off the mat. But I think that's a big part of getting our word out and really reaching the next generation. I think we got to reinvest in this next generation coming up. We got I think we've got to recruit. We got to go out and really try to recruit more, young black kids to get into the sport. And it's tough. Like when I first started wrestling, a lot of the kids in my neighborhood didn't wrestle. They all want to play football and basketball, right? So, man, why are you wrestling? Why are you wrestling? But I just love the sport, right? And I just fell in love with the sport early. And I was starting to win early. And I love the fact that it was an individual sport. And I can control my destiny, right? And so I think we got to tell our stories. We got to inspire these kids. I think, of course, when I won Olympic gold medal, I still run into people today to say, man, I started wrestling because I saw you win a gold medal, right? And it's the same thing that you guys are going through now. I mean, there's people that follow Jordan, and they start wrestling because of Jordan. Green is on the scene. Jaden, of course. And all you guys are bringing this next generation up, right? These guys are watching. And so I think, of course, winners win, man. And that when you win and when you're successful, people follow that.
One thing I'd actually like to add too is just something that black wrestlers and athletes can know is, especially in wrestling, I just don't know if they've always had like a means of support for things they would want to say. I know that there's definitely been times like this in my lifetime that I haven't said anything on, just because I didn't know how others would take it. I didn't know if I'd have had support from others, and just worried about backlash and things like that. So I think another thing just to know is that, we have a family for everyone, and we believe that, if you have a message that you want to deliver to people, then we want you to know that we want to see you do it the right way, and we want to see you do it the way that you want to do it. And I think that's important and shows individuality and how everybody is a little different in itself.